Cool. All right. So we are again doing all the circling and the spiraling and the circling around the mat. So it's going to be quite a lot in the hips potentially. And same as before, if at any point you get a bit lost, feel free to just jump up, unmute yourself and holler, and then we can go back over any little transitions or any bits if you need to, basically. So don't be afraid to do that. Cool. Straps are ready. So can you hear me okay? Is my internet connection all right? Yeah? Okay, cool. I'm a bit nervous about this. Okay. All right then, so getting comfortable, letting your hands rest wherever you want. So if you prefer to lie down or take any other position today, please feel free, go ahead. But once you find your comfortable position, closing your eyes, just taking some time to tune in to your breathing, seeing if you can kind of focus in on that straight away. Taking a bit of time to observe your breathings, just pay attention to it without doing anything in particular to it. Noticing if you get that little questioning voice in your head, am I breathing naturally or am I doing something? Don't worry about it too much. And then maybe starting to take some time to slow your breathing just a little. Seeing if perhaps you can make the inhale and the exhale quite even or quite equal in length. Then paying attention to what happens at the turning point of your breath. Is it smooth, continuous? Is there a pause? Is there a complete stop, a little hold there? And it doesn't matter what's happening at that turning point for you, because we know that that cycle is going to continue. Then we're going to start to add a mantra to your breath. You're welcome to keep breathing in quite a controlled manner, or let go of that effort and allow your breath to flow more freely, more independently. And last week we used the mantra, I inhale calm and I exhale stress. So on the in breath, saying I inhale calm, on the out breath, I exhale stress. You are more than welcome to find any other mantra. You might have one that you know works for you. But to find, create, work with any mantra or affirmations, if there's something else that's going to work a bit better, that's going to feel a bit more kind of honest or less forced. It's just spending some time to sit with that mantra, sit with your breathing, connect the two. refocusing, bringing your attention back to your mantra, back to those words, back to your breath as often as is needed. Before allowing your mantra to fall away, keeping your eyes closed and allowing yourself to take in the sounds or the environment around you. Other sounds, other elements that are creating perhaps an accompaniment or another layer to your practice. And if you're not there already, take your time to make your way into a cross-legged seat with the right leg in front. When you get there, again, just having a moment to land there, to reconnect with your breathing. See if you can tune in, connect to the upward energy, the rising of the in-breath, and the falling, the softening of the out-breath, and starting to add a little bit of physical movement to that. Starting to get into the spine, the inhale to draw up a little bit taller, and the exhale to fold or ripple or melt. It might be to the front, you might take it to the side or in different directions. If you prefer to take maybe a circling, and whatever feels kind of natural or useful to you. We're not trying to force anything, so try and avoid the temptation to kind of hold or grip into any one position. Not worrying too much about the sort of the end result, if you like, or the aesthetic, but trying to create a sense of just being a little bit fluid. When you're ready, with an in-breath, spine rises and right arm rises up toward the ceiling. And you're taking the left hand to the mat beside you, moving into a side bend. As you move over, try and relax the hips, let the knees become heavy. Then making sure you've got a bit of support for the low back. Taking 3 big circles with the top arm, doesn't matter which direction. Once you've taken your 3 big circles, coming back up to neutral, left hand coming across the body, right hand either to the mat behind you or the low back as you take your twist. Looking back over the right shoulder, again, try and encourage the hips to soften. A little bit of cat-cow, a little bit of spinal action. Working with the breath again, the inhale to lift, exhale to soften. For unwinding, coming back to center, just having a moment again to pause, to land there, maybe with the eyes closed. before changing the cross of the legs. The left leg will then be in front. Again, tuning into your breathing, the rise and fall of the in-breath, the out-breath. And once again, starting to bring a little bit of movement into the body, working with, perhaps you're thinking of kind of mimicking or reflecting the qualities of the breath. And then again, an in-breath. We'll draw the spine up, float the left arm, taking yourself over into your side bend. Again, hips softening. Bit of support for the low back. Taking 3 circles of your top arm. From your 3 circles, coming back through center, taking your twist, bringing the right arm across the body, left hand around behind you. Again, soften the hips. As you start to look back over the left shoulder, a little bit of involvement with the spine if that feels good for you. If it gives you any kind of pinch or pull, then feel free to keep the spine static, stationary, still. Or again, unwinding, coming back to center. Again, just taking that moment to land, to find a bit of stillness. Before starting to make your way into a downward facing dog. As always, taking a bit of time to get there, taking a bit of time to ease your way into it, to move with it, breathe with it. But then finding a little bit of stillness, stepping your feet slightly wider than your hips. You want to make sure the arms feel nice and strong. You're going to take your right arm, cross it beneath your body, catching hold of the outside of the left leg. Doesn't matter too much where. Take a breath in. As you breathe out, chin slightly tucked to chest. As you pull with that right arm, so you're spiraling, looking underneath left armpit. Keep pushing strong with the left arm. You're taking a moment to switch sides. That left hand now coming underneath the body, outside of the right leg, doesn't matter too much where. Breath in to prepare, breath out. Little pull with the left arm as you look underneath the right armpit. Again, slight tuck of the chin to the chest. Before unwinding, coming back to center, keep the feet wide. You're going to walk the hands towards the back of your mat. And you're going to start to drop the bum down. So turn the heels in a little bit, coming into your wide Malasana squat. Obviously adjusting the feet as much as you need. Bit of movement, bit of stillness, whatever feels right for you. Maybe thinking of pressing the knees back, maybe thinking of lifting the chest. From here, moving it into a forward fold, fingertips towards the mat. Again, adjust the feet as you wish.
Just seeing if your weight can ever so slightly favour the front of the feet, the balls of the feet, as opposed to being too heavy through the heels. And when you're ready, little bend in the knees, think of sending the tailbone down to the floor as you roll up to standing. Allow the knees to push forward slightly so that the hips can stack and the spine can uncurl from there. Little moment once you're upright. Again, just a pause. And then finding a comfortable stance. So I would say feet not too close. I'm going to say bring the hands to the front of the shoulders and keep the elbows wide, but you might prefer to cross them or keep the hands at the chest. But again, a tiny bend in the knees, keeping the elbows wide, and the aim of the game really is just to keep both shoulders back. We don't want to let one come forward. You're going to inhale in the middle, and then exhale just to rotate to one side, and we're trying not to let the elbow and the shoulder come forwards. Inhale back to center and exhale to the other side. Trying to keep the hips fairly neutral. There might be just a very subtle sense as I turn, for example, to the right, of just slightly drawing my left hip back, just a hair. You might find that you don't really need to think about that. Main focus is on trying to keep the elbows and the shoulders wide. So we're getting quite a true twist. Just from the spine, just from the obliques. And then coming back to center, taking the arms forwards, up and all the way back, big circle. And then again, feel free to readjust the feet if you want to, but you're going to bend the knees, chin to chest, and roll yourself back down into a forward fold. Readjusting your trousers if you need to. And from that forward fold, walking the hands forwards into a downward facing dog. And we're going to take a couple of waving, rolling vinyasas. So from your down dog, chin to the chest as you lift the heels, and then rolling forwards through the spine, rounding the low back, the mid back, the upper back. And maybe for this first round, as you melt through into your upward facing dog, maybe the knees come down, taking a little bit of extra time in that first kind of back bend. Try and make sure the neck stays long. Whatever variation you end up in, try not to sink in the shoulders. And we're going to try and roll it back again. So chin to the chest, puffing the upper back. So push strong through the arms. You're rounding the upper back, the mid back, the lower back, and back into a down dog. And maybe that's feeling quite good. Maybe like me, you feel like your spine is a bit like a plank of wood this morning, but we're going to keep trying. One more time. Chin to chest, lift the heels, rolling forward through the spine, taking your time over it, trying to press the back of each vertebrae towards the ceiling, and then allowing the hips to melt, chest to rise, chin away from the chest. Last thing as you arrive into that upward facing dog or whatever variation you end up in. Then again, chin to chest, strong arms, strong abdominals as you round upper back, mid back, low back. And from there into a little child's pose. Once you've had a moment in your child's pose, you're going to start to come back into your downward facing dog, and we'll move into our flow on the first side. So again, as it's second week, I'm going to try and give you a little bit less kind of finicky instruction, if you like. So from your down dog, right leg is going to lift. Take some time in that three-legged dog.
And when you're ready, stepping the right foot towards the top of your mat. Back knee can be up or down, your choice. The inhale reaches the right arm high, twist open, and the out breath wraps the right arm underneath the left armpit. Again, inhale, right arm high, push down with the left arm. Exhale to wrap under. One more time. Inhale to open. Exhale to wrap. And then two hands or two sets of fingertips to the top of your mat. Make sure back knee is raised as the left arm reaches forwards, up and back as you arrive in your warrior two. From there, right hand, palm turns up. Reach the right arm to the ceiling as you straighten the right leg and turn your right toes 90 degrees. Keep the right arm circling back as you bend the left leg, low to the back of the mat, and then through your low squat to shift to the front once more. Turn your right toes and we go again. The left arm circles forwards and up. Warrior two. Right arm continues to circle up. Straighten the right leg, turn the toes in front of the face towards the back of the mat. Good, through that squat. Two more times. The left arm starts the circle and the right arm continues. One more time. So try and keep a bit of connection to your feet, to those foundations. And this time, as you find the front of the mat, turn the right toes, come up onto the ball of the back foot, high lunge, fingertips sweep high. Maybe a little back bend. You're going to spend a little bit of time here. Again, that could be in stillness. You could be moving with it. And you're going to start to take it into a prayer twist. So left elbow toward the outside of the right thigh, hands in prayer, or a bind, or open the arms wide if you prefer. Just slightly drawing the tummy back away from the right thigh. And as you release that twist, take the left arm out wide to the side, off the side of your mat. So you can step your back leg through and come to a seat. Left leg straight, right knee bent. Left hand comes back behind you as you lift the hips. Turn to look down toward the left hand as you step the back foot. That's your bent right leg. Step it over. Find your lunge. Keep turning 90 degrees to your left to come into your Skandasana side lunge. You've still got a bent right leg. I'm going to turn around and the left leg is extended. Again, take some time here. You can pulse with it, move with it, lift the hands if you want to. Whatever feels good. And then you're going to see if you can drop your bum back towards the floor, turn 90 degrees to your left and allow that back right knee to come forwards. So ultimately, as long as you end up sitting, I think facing the front of your mat, left leg extended, right knee bent. Doesn't matter if that right knee is forward, to the side, back. And you're going to start to take a fold over your left leg. Again, that can be still. That can have a bit of a ripple, a bit of movement to it. Your choice. Maybe you're coming back to your mantra. When you're ready, rising back up again. You're going to take the back right leg all the way around in front, step the right foot to the outside of the left thigh, taking a twist, looking back over the right shoulder, and the left arm either hugging in, elbow to knee. Again, just seeing if you can ever so slightly draw your belly just a touch away from that crossed right thigh. And as you unwind from that twist, taking the sole of the right foot to the inside of the left thigh. And again, a little bit of a forward fold. Think right knee pressing down, rippling, snaking, or holding still. Is there any tension you're holding on to that is unnecessary, unrelated to what you're doing? Before rising back up again, bend your left knee and you're going to shift yourself forward so we come into that kind of half kneel, half squat. So turning the right leg parallel, sitting your bum on your right heel, and then sole of the left foot planted about a hand or a fist width between the right knee and the left foot. Try and make sure that left foot isn't too far forwards. Tuck it in reasonably close, because to come up to standing, you're going to start by shifting the weight forwards onto your left foot. We're trying to pick the right leg off the mat as early as we can to come all the way up. Good, and then lower all the way back down. If that just feels like hell, then your option is to tuck your back toes under, and that's going to give you a bit more help from that back left leg. So your choice. We're going to do that again, up and down. Then the third time, you're going to come up and stay there. Awesome. Once you get up to standing that third time, left hand to the outside of the right foot, right arm either reaches back or hand to low back as you grow, expand into revolved hand to foot. From here, you've got two options as you move into tree pose. Option number one, sole of the foot to the inside of the left thigh. Option number two, you're going to have to adjust your grip as you start to bring the heel across to the left hip. You might prefer to adjust to hold that right foot from beneath. If it feels like it's a lot on the hip or the knee, start off by making sure that the right foot is flexing. If it just doesn't feel good, allow the heel to come down lower, or move back to sole of the foot towards inner thigh. We're going to keep balancing as you take the right leg all the way across to come to eagle pose. You're going to have the left arm on top if you're wrapping the arms as well. Try and soften the sole of the left foot just a little. Before moving into a warrior three, the arms can stay, they can unwind. Again, is your mantra something that can help focus here, help find you a bit of extra balance or stability? Stepping right foot to the top of the mat, taking a full body stretch, so reaching the fingertips up towards the ceiling. Good. From there, taking the feet in towards each other, so in nice and close. I like to reach my arms forwards for this, but you can do whatever you want with yours. Rising up onto the balls of the feet. Slow, steady, calm. Lowering the bottom down towards the heels. Keep lifting the heels higher. Trying to keep the back fairly straight, squeezing knees in. And when you get there, hands to prayer. Twisting to the right, feel free to adjust the arms. Left arm comes over, or to add a fold, left elbow to the outside of the right thigh, or this is a great place if you wanted to throw in a little side crow. If you're going for that side crow, think really cat shape in the spine, using the abdominals to get the hips high. As you unwind from your twist, take as much time as you need. Moving into a forward fold once again. And you might go for something strong, you might go for something ragdoll. In your forward fold, bring the feet to about hip distance apart. Allow a little bend in the knees. Bring the left fingertips
to the midline of your mat. And as you breathe in, float the right arm high. Think of straightening the right leg a little more, bending the left knee. Shoulders slightly away from the ears. Keep breathing. Use an out breath to release the right hand back down. And an in breath, excuse me, to switch sides. The left arm floats up, right fingertips stay on the mat. Left leg becomes a little straighter, right knee bends. Maybe even presses forwards a little more. Use an out breath again to release the left hand down. If your strap is somewhere to hand, grab it now as you make your way up to standing. Otherwise, come to standing, then go fetch your strap. Ugh. Dislocates. Sorry, I keep my joggers, no, my leggings are escaping today. Okay, grabbing your strap, moving into your dislocates. Trying to keep the arms nice and straight. If you want to take some round the world action, one arm then the other. Again, we're still trying to keep the elbows straight, and the bit that I really struggle with, trying to keep the torso still. For me, it's much easier to keep the torso still and the low ribs down in the dislocates than it is in those round the worlds. Could your mantra be helpful here? Or is it just one too many things to think about? Hold on, guys. Let's make that the last one. Popping your strap to one side. Standing at the front of your mat. Taking a moment to make your way into a downward facing dog. That might be reaching the arms up first, taking it through a sort of sun salutation. Any way you want, back into a downward facing dog. And the invitation here is to take maybe 2 or 3 rounds of that rolling, waving vinyasa, really trying to articulate the spine, vertebrae by vertebrae. You are, of course, welcome to take just a regular vinyasa. Let's take no vinyasas at all. Once you have taken your vinyasas, give yourself a moment to pause. Child's pose, kneeling, seated. Before we get into the second side. And perhaps using this time to come back to your mantra. When you're ready, you'll start moving into that flow on the second side. So first thing will be making your way into the downward facing dog, and from there lifting the left leg, taking some time once again in that 3-legged dog, that split dog. Before stepping the left foot forward, you can take as much time as you need. From that lunge, back knee up or down. Inhaling to float the left arm, twist open. Exhaling to wrap left arm under. 2 more times. Inhale to open. Exhale to wrap. Before 2 sets of fingertips come to the top of the mat, back knee raised, and the right arm starts your circle, reaching forwards, up and back as you arrive in your warrior 2. Have a second to just find that, make sure you're comfortable with your base before turning left palm up, reaching left arm up as you straighten the left leg, turn the left toes as the left arm circles in front of the face, bending the right knee, back of the mat, low squat as you move forwards. Good, turn the left toes, and you go again, the right arm starts that circle. That's it, and the left arm continues. Making sure you're remembering to turn the left toes between the front and the side of the mat. 2 more circles, so you should have done 4. You will be doing 4 in total. Once you've taken your 4, turning left toes coming onto the ball of the back foot, sweeping the arms high, crescent lunge, high lunge. Again, back bend, spirals, stillness, movement, whatever you want there. We've got some time. And give yourself permission to adjust the placement of the feet. If it feels like it's not very supportive or not very stable. Before moving into your prayer twist when you're ready, right hand to the outside of the left thigh. And you're welcome to take any other variations with the arms. Lightly hugging the belly away from the left thigh. And as you unwind your twist, taking the right arm out nice and wide, so you can lean into it, step the right leg through, come to sit. Right hand is going to move toward the back of the mat as you lift the hips. Then look at the point you want to place that left foot as you step it over. Find your lunge. Keep turning 90 degrees to your right. Stay low on the left leg, so left leg is bent. To find your Skandasana, your side lunge. Before lowering your bottom down to the mat, turning 90 degrees to your right as the left knee drops forwards. Again, we're moving into that asymmetrical forward fold. Again, no particular fixed shape that you need to make here. No particular experience that you need to be having. Perhaps you're playing around with subtle activations or engagements or releasings through the body. And then as you rise, once again, the left foot is going to come all the way around, step over to the outside of the right thigh, moving into your twist. Looking back over the left shoulder. Again, any variations you like with the arms.
Unwinding from your twist, sole of the left foot to the inside of the right knee. Again, another fold, rippling, reaching, stillness. You've got loads of options. Thinking left knee, just lightly easing out, easing down. Once again, as you rise, we're going to shift forwards to come into that half kneel, half squat position. Bum sitting down on the left heel. Right foot planted, we're going up, down, and then holding the third time up. Then use that shift forwards to help get the weight onto the right foot. We're trying to pick the left foot up as early as we can, and obviously to put it down as late as possible. Nice, you guys. Once you're up that third time, well done. Right hand catches outside of the left foot. Maybe left arm expands back, reaches back as you grow into that revolved hand to foot position. So we've got a lot of balancing coming up. That foundation needs to be confident, strong. Moving into your tree pose option, whether it's sole of the foot to the inner thigh, whether it's heel to opposite hip. Is your mantra helpful to help focus, help calm, help encourage a little bit more balance? As you move into eagle pose, it's going to be the right arm that is on top if you're adding the eagle arms as well. Before moving into your warrior three, arms doing whatever you want. Before coming to release, left foot to the top of the mat. Rotate the arms up to the ceiling, full body stretch. Stepping the feet in together. Again, arms, whatever's going to help you to balance. Coming high onto the balls of the feet. Squeeze the legs into each other as you slowly lower the hips down to the heels. Although the hips are getting lower, we still want to think of just drawing upwards so we're not sinking, collapsing into that lowering. Hands to prayer. Twisting around to the left when you get there. Again, whatever variation you want with the arms. Maybe adding cheeky fold. Right elbow to outside of left thigh. It's nice control, you guys, take your time. Side crow is your option here. Good, and this time as you unwind your twist, again taking your time to move into a forward fold. You might want to spend a bit of extra time in the forward fold, maybe revisiting your twists. Next place that we will all get to will be a downward facing dog. If you want to stand all the way up first, moving all the way back through, then you've got plenty of time to move into your down dog, to take maybe a waving, rolling vinyasa,
To take what you want, what you need. Taking a breather when you're ready. Before making your way to lie onto your back. Once you get down onto your back, drawing the knees in towards the chest, just having a little bit of time to talk to the hips, talk to the low back, whether that's with some hip circles, whether it's with a happy baby. In fact, let's take it into a happy baby, if you're not already there. And then, oh Hannah, I don't know what your space is going to be like here, but taking your hands from your happy baby to the inside of your ankles or your calves and helping to just encourage the feet out to the sides. You might need to adjust yourself slightly so you've got room for those legs. Trying to encourage the shoulders back. Again, obviously you can use the arms to help you here, but only as much as feels good. And from here, we're going to release, bending the knees. We're moving into a twist. So any variation you like with the legs, obviously crossing the thighs, asymmetrical, both knees in. Doesn't matter which side you go to first either. We're going to do both sides. Bit of time in that twist. Switching sides when you're ready. It doesn't matter if you're not quite ready yet. And when you're ready, unwinding from that second side. Taking whatever else you might need and might fancy before you get ready to take your Shavasana. You're welcome just to take a bit of time, maybe to be still, maybe to focus on your mantra. Moving into Shavasana as soon as you feel ready. So you
if you can allow yourself to just settle, release into that stillness when it comes. Let go of effort, let go of control. Allowing the body to be receptive. The mind also. And then starting to deepen your breath, to bring a bit of movement back into your body. And taking as much time as you need to gently find your way back up to a comfortable sitting position to close. When you do find that seat, again, just pausing with your eyes closed. Is it a comfortable stillness? Is there anything that's maybe pulling at your attention? Maybe having a moment, one final time, to come back to your mantra. And when you're ready, again, letting that go. In your own time, gently opening your eyes. Allowing the outside world in. Thank you very much, guys. Hope you're feeling good. Thanks for coming to play. Have a lovely weekend. Hopefully the sun will last. And apparently it's going to be like 20 degrees next week. Hannah, we're all going to come to your balcony next week.
Okay.
Have a great week, you guys. I'll see you next time.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. Have a good weekend.